to be with you today in this virtual space. I have some questions for you, and I'd like you to answer with the first thing that comes to mind. And you can just shout it out. Who is always there for Minnie Mouse?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey. Who is always there for Harry Potter?
Hermione.
Hermione. Who is always there for people in danger?
People like policemen, firemen.
Perfect. Well, and who is always there for people who are sick?
Doctors and nurses.
Perfect. Who's always there for children? Parents.
Adults.
But who's always there for you?
Family and friends.
Yeah, awesome. That seems pretty easy. But I'm wondering, what does always there even mean?
Well, it means like they're ready for you when you need them.
I love that. So what does it mean to be there for someone? Does it mean you're always by their side? Always by their side?
No, you don't always need to be by their side, but you need to be ready to help them.
Right, you're not always by their side, but you're ready to help them. What does it mean to be there for the sick, for the poor, for your family, for yourself? Are you present with them? Yeah, another way of saying this is being present with someone. If I want to be present with a friend, I wait, listen, and ask how I can support them best. Today, we are present with each other. Let's take a few seconds of silence to be with one another. When we are together or apart, God is always with us, and we can be present with each other in many ways too. In the story today, we will encounter 3 women who figured out how to be present with each other in their heart. As we prepare to learn more about being present with each other, we're going to begin with our compassion prayer. We're going to place one hand on our head and one on our heart. We are doing this because compassion happens in our brains, but we often feel it in our hearts. That's right. So you're going to repeat after me. Loving Spirit,
Loving Spirit,
you are active and alive,
you are active and alive,
always moving and stirring within and around us.
always moving and stirring within and around us.
Please be an encouraging wind
Please be an encouraging wind
at our backs,
at our backs,
giving us open minds
giving us open minds
and soft hearts to follow where you lead.
and soft hearts to follow where you lead.
Make us flexible and present
Make us flexible and present
in each moment
in each moment,
that we might embrace compassion
that we might embrace compassion
by letting go of what we expected.
by letting go of what we expect.
Amen.
Amen.
Today's song is about being present with God and each other, no matter what the situation. Everyone can stand and sing with us as we sing a song called Face to Face.
Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Let's sing together. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to the Spirit say, I am here with you. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to your family say,
In Judah, there once was a man named Elimelech who worried about how his family would survive the famine. He took his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, to the country of Moab. They settled there and made a life among the people there. Soon their sons married 2 women named Orpah and Ruth. Sadly, Naomi's husband passed away, and then even her 2 sons died too. Naomi missed her family and wanted to go back home, so she began the long journey back to Judah. As was the custom for daughters by law, Orpah and Ruth followed her. But Naomi insisted they stay home in Moab.
Go back to your family. May the Lord deal kindly with you, as you have dealt with your husbands and me. Peace be with you.
Then Naomi hugged them goodbye as they all cried together. But Orpah and Ruth were determined to follow her. Naomi tried to persuade them.
I do not want to ruin your chance at marriage and having your own family. If you stay with me, you will have nothing, because I cannot give you anything. I have lost everything, and my heart is so bitter.
They all cried together once again. Orpah decided to go back, but Ruth clung to Naomi even more. Naomi said to Ruth,
Don't stay with me. Go back. Orpah.
but Ruth opened up to her.
Don't make me leave you. Where you go, I will go. Where you make your home, I will make my home. Your people with my people will be my people. Your God, my God. And where you die and are buried, I will be buried there too. I will be your family.
When Naomi saw that she couldn't change Ruth's mind, her heart softened. She accepted Ruth, and they traveled back to Judah together. Ruth lovingly took care of Naomi, and she became like a daughter to her.
Good morning, church. Pastor Daniel here with a Bible study to talk about the book of Ruth, which was our lesson for today. The book of Ruth is a really great read. It's a quick read. You could read it right now. In your Bible, however, it'll show up in the first part of it. It's right after the book of Judges and before the book of Kings. And that's really interesting because that shows up only in the Christian Bible. In the Hebrew Bible, it's at the very end. It's one of the last stories that they tell. And historically, that's where it should be. But when the Christians were putting the Bible together in the 4th century, they decided that Ruth should be earlier because it starts with this line, in the days when the judges ruled. So they took that one line and they put it after the book of Judges. But really, it's a much later story. It's a story about a new identity in God. So imagine that the Jewish people have an identity from Exodus, right? And their old identity was slavery and into freedom. And then they've been here for a long time. They had kings, and then the kings were replaced by other empires. And we get to the sort of a late Jewish period. And what we find is that people are all over the place now. Judaism has made its way into Egypt and into the southern part of Europe and a little bit further into Eurasia. And when you do that, when you go to foreign places, it's helpful to have stories that are about your identity. And that's what the book of Ruth is about. It's about a family that was from Bethlehem. You've heard of the city of Bethlehem. And they end up in Moab, which is very far away. And yet it's an important story to tell about how we take our heritage and who we are as people of God with us when we go other places. It's really a common theme. It shows up in the book of Daniel, where Daniel goes to a foreign country. It shows up in the book of Esther, where Esther goes to a foreign country. It shows up in the book of Jonah, when Jonah goes to a foreign country. And all of those stories are late Jewish period stories. So they sort of belong together. So if you take it in that context, you realize that Ruth is a story about family, not family that you were born with per se, but even how you treat each other with the same love and respect that you would if you had been born into this family. It's about taking your identity as one of God's people and bringing integrity to every relationship that you can, even though you're outside of the system of Jewish world, which is in Jerusalem and surrounding areas of Israel. You still bring that with you. Sort of like you can take a boy out of the South, but you can't take the South out of a boy. And in it, we find Ruth up in Moab, and she's with her mother-in-law because all of their husbands have died. In the midst of this tragedy, Ruth says to these words, "Do not press me to leave you or to turn back from following you. Wherever you go, I go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die. There we will be buried. May the Lord do thus, and so with me, and more as well, even if death parts me." Now, I love to read this part of Ruth at weddings because it's about joining each other to each other's families, even when it's not a blood thing. It's saying that we treat you with the love that we would our very own family. And that's really what happens in the story. It's a story about finding your own identity and treating people with the love that comes from family. Later on, Ruth meets a man named Boaz, and he sort of remembers her family, and they end up getting married and living happily ever after. And they promise to continue to take care of Naomi, even though the relationship to Naomi is through Ruth's previous husband. It's a story about new life. It's about new beginnings. And it's a story about finding love in the midst of a foreign society. So, siblings in Christ's church, I pray that this Bible story of Ruth might be a lesson for all of us to find the good in other people, to take the high road even when we're in a strange situation, and to always learn to trust God and follow where God is leading us. Thanks for joining. Have a great day, and I'll see you again next week.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the craft video for week 4. As you know, week 4's theme is that compassion helps us to be present with each other. And this time of COVID-19 and social distancing, it's been a little hard to feel present with each other because we haven't been able to be physically present, but we can be spiritually present through sharing messages. And one of the ideas on how we can do this is to share signs of hope in our driveways and sidewalks and yards. Hopefully at home you have some sidewalk chalk. And I just want you to encourage you to get outside and share a message of hope. Now you can see from my board here, I put some ideas of colorful things, rainbows and flowers and hearts, smiley faces that you could put in your message. You could also share a message like God loves you or peace be with you. If you have a big driveway and you have a lot of space, you can even do some quotes like Mother Teresa said that small acts can equal great love. Anne Frank said that no one has ever become poor by giving. So those are some things that people can think about. And one of my favorites comes from my favorite fish, Dory, just keep swimming. In this day and age, sometimes we need a little encouragement to feel like we can just keep swimming. So those are ideas of things that you could put on your sidewalk chalk message to your neighbors and to your friends and family who might happen to be by your house. But it gets even better. On this week, on Thursday, I want to invite you to come by the church. We will be there from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you can stop by anytime it's convenient for you and your family. And we will provide a parking spot and sidewalk chalk so that you can decorate a spot and share a message that you want to with the people that you miss from church. We will have some shade available so that we can get out of the sun and be able to space you apart, far enough apart to be socially distanced and safe. But it's a chance to see some of your friends and get some of the messages down. We'll be taking some pictures and video and just have a fun opportunity to tell the people that we miss how much we miss them and how much we love them and how we are looking forward to being back together again. So Thursday, you can stop by anytime, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We're actually even going to have a movie that night. So if you want to plan around a pop-up movie event that night, this is for people of all ages who want to join us. And you can come and share that message. We look forward to seeing you.
Welcome to Compassion Camp Yoga, everybody. We are going to spend this time in movement. It is really important that we think about our breath and our breathing. Remember that we all come from different places and our bodies might move a little differently. Do what feels good to your body. This ancient practice of yoga is a spiritual practice to connect our bodies, our hearts, and our breath. So please join me as we do our yoga practice. Welcome to Compassion Camp Yoga, everybody. Today we are going to focus on compassion's gift of presence and awareness. We're going to start with our breathing, and our mantra this morning, as we inhale, we are going to say with an open heart, and as we exhale, we are going to say, I am present to the spirit within and around me. Like always, you can either choose to put your hands face up on your knees, or if you'd like a little more movement, on the inhale you can bring them up over your head, and on the exhale you can bring them back down to the sides of your body. Please breathe with me. Inhale with an open heart. Exhale, I am present to the spirit within and around me. Inhale with an open heart. Exhale, I am present to the spirit within and around me. One more time. Inhale with an open heart. Exhale, I am present to the spirit within and around me. We are going to stand up into mountain pose. In mountain pose, you're going to stand as tall as you can, plant your feet, send your energy down towards the earth. In mountain pose, we find strength and we are unshakable. We're going to lift our hands up over our heads and come down into a forward fold. Take a breath here. We prepare our focus and our eyes forward. Have a little bend in your knees and come back up. Roll your body all the way back up. Now we're going to step out into a V position. We're going to turn your right toe out, and we're going to reach over, bend your knee all the way over, and get your hand on the ground. If you can't, you can put your hand on your knee or on your shin. The spirit stretches and opens to new flexibility. From here, we're going to turn our body over our knee and stretch your leg. Now, with your legs straight, we're going to plant our hand and we're going to lift our other hand up towards the sky. When we are open and flexible, we see the world in a new way. We're going to bring our hand back down, bend your knee a little bit, and bring your body back up, and bring your right toe in. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Turn your left toe out, a little bend, and stretch over. Remember, you can put your hand or your forearm on your knee or all the way down to your foot. Good job, everybody. The spirit stretches and opens to new flexibility. We are going to come over our foot and stretch our leg straight. From here, we're going to go into triangle pose, where we lift up with two straight legs, lift our arm towards the sky. When we are open and flexible, we see the world in a new way. Take one more breath here. And bring it back down. Again, we're going to meet in mountain pose. You're going to bring your feet together. We're going to bring our arms to our heart, and we're going to end with our magic yoga word, which is namaste. Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. 1, 2, 3. Namaste.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm so glad to see all your smiling faces. We've learned a lot about compassion. This is compassion. I see your hurt, I feel your hurt with you, and I help to ease your hurt. Compassion helps us see and welcome each other and helps us be brave. We learned how important it is to love and care for ourselves. Today, we explored what it looks like to be present with each other through the story of Ruth, Orpah, and Naomi. When Naomi lost her husband and sons, and Ruth and Orpah lost their husbands, they each faced a difficult decision of staying or going and had to choose the best direction for them. But they showed compassion to one another, and each received compassion. Naomi showed compassion to Ruth and Orpah in giving them the option to return to their families. Ruth showed compassion by choosing to stay with Naomi when she lost her husband and 2 sons. Orpah showed compassion by returning to her family to help them. Compassion goes both ways. Each could make their hard decision because of the compassion they received. So, what does it mean to be there for someone?
Be with them and be with them in their hearts.
That's right, be with them in their hearts, be there for them if they call you. That's right. And Ruth was there for Naomi, and Ruth and Naomi were there for Orpah. How do you guys think Orpah's family felt when she came home?
They probably felt happy, but sad at the same time because they know they lost their father, but at the same time they're happy that their mother came back.
That's right, happy because she's home, but sad because she lost her husband, right? How have you been present? Can you think of a time that you've been present with a friend, your grown-up, or maybe a sibling before? How have you been present with them?
I guess when they're gone, you can call them to make sure they're okay.
That's very good. For sure you can do that. We can be present with each other because we are filled with God's love and God's promise to be with us always. Orpah and Naomi have shown us what we've learned so far about compassion. Seeing one another, being brave, trusting, and listening to your heart. They show us what compassion looks like when we are present with people we encounter along the way. When I am open and present with someone, I wait with them, listen carefully to them, and ask how I can support them best. When we show up for people like this, we give compassion. And when people show up for us like this, we receive compassion. These 3 women shared compassion in a hard situation and showed us how we can give and receive compassion too. We're going to close today in the same way we opened. We're going to place one hand on our head and one on our hearts. We're doing this because compassion happens in our brains, but we often feel it in our hearts. Very good. So you're going to repeat after me. Loving Spirit, you are active and alive, always moving and stirring within and around us. Please be an encouraging wind at our backs, giving us open minds and soft hearts to follow where you lead. Make us flexible and present in each moment, that we might embrace compassion by letting go of what we expected. Amen. Before we sing our next song, everyone has their coloring sheet, I hope, for this week. This one's is called Along the Way, as that's what this week's theme is called. This one's already colored, but I would love it if you all would color yours. Hang them somewhere, as you've been doing all week or all month, maybe on a wall hanging of some kind. We'd mine. I'm going to hang it on my tent. I invite everyone at home to stand up and get ready to sing our song called Face to Face. And I can't wait to see you next time.
Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Let's sing together. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to the Spirit say, I am here with you. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to your family say, I am here with you. As close as your breath